If you have a dachshund, listen to this carefully because it could change everything. There is something that almost no owner notices, and it directly affects their well-being. The dachshund does not show pain the way other dogs do. It was bred to be brave, resilient, and silent in the face of discomfort. This behavior has not disappeared over time. Even living indoors, being loved and protected, it still carries this trait. That means that many times it suffers without giving clear signs, and that's exactly where the danger lies. Because you look at it, see that it's there, apparently normal, and you believe everything is fine. But it isn't always. And today, you're going to learn how to notice this before it's too late. Stay with me until the end because the last sign is the most ignored of all, and also the one that most reveals when something is really wrong. Now let me ask you something, even if only in your head. Do you know your dachshund's normal behavior in detail? Do you know how it walks when it's well, how it reacts when it's happy, how it behaves when it's comfortable? Because that is exactly what will help you notice the first sign. And it starts in an almost invisible way. Your dachshund becomes quieter, not completely still, not entirely different, but slightly changed. It still gets up, still follows you, still responds, but with less intensity, less energy, less enthusiasm, less presence. It's as if it's there, but not completely. And this goes unnoticed in most homes because it just seems like a calmer they. But when it repeats, when it becomes a pattern, it's not a coincidence. It's its body trying to save energy, trying to avoid something you still can't see. Now pay attention to the second sign because it's more physical, and in a dachshund, this deserves immediate attention. It starts avoiding going up or down. It could be the couch, the bed, or even a small step on the floor. Something that used to be natural starts to require effort. He looks, analyzes, and takes longer than usual. And sometimes he simply gives up. At times he even tries, but with excessive caution, with slower, more calculated movements. This is not laziness, and it is not stubbornness either. Most of the time, it is discomfort in the spine. And this is one of the most sensitive areas in this breed. Ignoring this sign is one of the most common mistakes, and also one of the most dangerous. Now comes the third sign, which is even more subtle. The way he walks changes. It is not something obvious. It is not clear pain. It is a slight but constant change. The steps become shorter. The body seems a bit more rigid. The movement loses its natural flow. You might even think you are overreacting, but it rarely is. A dachshund does not change the way it walks without a reason. It adjusts its body to avoid pain, and it does this in an almost imperceptible way. Now comes an emotional sign, and this is where many people get confused. He may become more attached to you, more dependent, more present, more needy, seeking safety, comfort, and closeness. But the opposite can also happen. He may withdraw, become more isolated, avoid contact. And this makes it even more confusing because it seems like a mood change. It seems like a phase, but it is not. It is an emotional response to what he is feeling. Now think about the things he loves to do most: running around the house, playing with you, greeting you with excitement. If this starts to decrease, there is a reason. He still wants to, but he cannot do it the way he used to. And this is one of the most painful signs to notice, because the desire is still there, but the body no longer responds the same way. Now comes a sign that almost no one takes seriously: a change in appetite. He may start eating less or show less interest in food. Sometimes he takes longer to go to the bowl. Sometimes he stops in the middle of a meal, and this should never be ignored. The body reacts when something is not right, and appetite is one of the first things to change. Now we reach the most silent sign of all: the eyes. Yes, your dachshund's eyes can say everything. He still looks at you, but it feels different, deeper, more tired, quieter. It is as if there is something there that he cannot express, and those who love him can notice it, even without fully understanding what is happening. This is the moment when you need to trust your perception, because the bond between you picks up signals that words cannot explain. If you have noticed more than one of these signs, do not ignore them. They do not appear by chance. The Dachshund is strong, but that does not mean he doesn't suffer. It only means he suffers in silence, and that completely changes the way you need to care for him. You need to observe more, notice more, feel more, because he won't warn you in a clear way. He stays there, trying to be the same as always. And that is exactly why you need to observe differently. He will show you, in the details, in the way he gets up more slowly, in the pause before stepping onto a place he has always stepped on before, in the way he looks at you for a few extra seconds, in the small behaviors, on the day he plays less, in the moment he prefers to lie down instead of running, in that slight change that almost no one notices, in the almost invisible changes, the ones that go unnoticed in the rush of everyday life, the ones that seem too small to worry about, but that together tell a whole story. And when you learn to see this, you begin to truly understand your Dachshund, not only when he is happy, but especially when he needs you. You change everything. You protect better because you act before the problem grows. You take care better because you understand what he cannot say. You love better because your love is no longer just affection. It becomes attention, presence, and awareness. Because loving a Dachshund is not just about giving affection. It is not just playing, feeding, and being around. It is noticing when something changes, even slightly. It is respecting his time. It is protecting his health. It is being the support he needs, even in silence. It is understanding his silence. Because a Dachshund's silence is not empty. It is full of signs, full of feelings, full of attempts to say something without being able to. And when you learn to listen to that silence, you create a bond that goes far beyond the ordinary. And acting before that silence turns into pain is the greatest act of love you can have for him. Because when pain appears in a clear way, it is often already advanced. But when you act early, you completely change the outcome of this story. If you made it this far, it was not by chance. It is because you care. It is because you love. It is because, deep down, you have always wanted to do the best for him. You are already a different kind of owner, and that already puts your Dachshund in a much safer place, because now you see what many do not see. You notice what many ignore, and that can make all the difference in his life, in quality of life, in health, and in the time you still have together. Because in the end, he does not need a perfect owner. He just needs someone who pays attention, someone who is truly there, someone like you. And if you truly love your Dachshund, if you want to understand every behavior, every signal, and every detail, then subscribe to the channel now, because this is your place. This is the Dachshund universe, where we learn every day to take better care of those who love us the most, even in silence.